Hey everyone, welcome back to Gamedec and the case of Ken Zoo's murder or death, we don't know yet. So, last time I did touch a bit on the subject that I think the game in general is rather confusing. I know that the whole premise of the game is that we are a detective, we're supposed to deduct certain things. I feel like though in the very first case, there was a nice flow to things. There was a decent flow to information that we gathered. We could see who we could talk to about certain things if we made the appropriate deductions, be they right or wrong. For instance, if we had to guess between two people being the murderer, we could see that talking to person A in the future, we could talk to them about either person, depending on who we deducted to be the murderer. Just an instance. Or for instance. I feel like in the second case, that whole mechanic was sort of just gone. It didn't really exist for some weird reason. There was no one to talk to in case we deducted something new. At least it didn't show like it did in the first one. And if that's like some sort of tutorial thing, it wasn't really clear that it would go away. But I definitely felt like it was more difficult to piece the case together in the second one, which makes sense, right? It's the first mission, you're sort of supposed to learn the ropes, so the game helps you in a sense, and it's easier than the rest possibly. And now we find ourselves in the third case here, and so far it has been... I feel like it's all over the place. To me personally, if I'm trying to... We're not going to be spending too much time talking about this, but I wanted to touch on it because today I made a post on my channel announcing that this game will not be continuing after we solve this case because, well, first of all, it's not getting the viewers that I would like, and that's fair. It might not be super interesting to watch, but part of the reason that I didn't mention is also that I really find it very confusing. Like, we get options to talk to people about things that we, as the player, outside of the game, I feel like we have no knowledge about. So we can ask people of things that's maybe our character being a game deck, maybe he would know, right? Because he's been doing this for a while. But we as the player, we don't know it. And that's super confusing. So we have all these pieces of a puzzle that I honestly feel like we shouldn't have these pieces yet because we don't know that they are a piece of the puzzle, which also sometimes leads to, you know, us getting information that we don't know at the point of getting it is important. For instance, we checked out this MCC over here, the damaged MCC beacon, which turns out to be some rodent-killing thing using plasma to shoot stuff. I remember that we were able to check the log to see when it has last fired a shot, and I feel like, why would we check the log? We have no reason to check the log when it was fired. Later we learn that that is one of the hypotheses, for instance, that Ken was killed by it because it mistook him for a rodent or a bat looking thing because he has these bat wings on it. Another thing, and this is the last thing I promise, there was this Beowulf transporter here where there's a trophy case. This is a police vehicle, that's my understanding. This is a police vehicle. I know that we are what's going on here? No. That was a mistake. I know we are a game deck. We are a detective of such, but we're not the police. Suddenly we find ourselves rummaging around in the police vehicle trying to open a trophy case. literally tampering with evidence, which to me make no sense. Later we learn that this anti-G harness that Ken was wearing, that we could also randomly talk to Venon about, that I had no idea he was wearing an anti-G harness, for instance, that actually that's probably what's in the trophy case. Now we chose not to open it because I didn't want to make noise and probably get caught fiddling around in their police vehicle. But you see it's a lot of weird things. It's a lot of weird reasons to do things. This, to me, sure, maybe we would have the option to look inside, but that would be it. I mean, the game could tell us, "Ooh, you see this, you see that. There's a trophy case. It looks like it's been used recently." The end. Done. Why would our characters suddenly feel like? Why would the game even give us the option to rummage around, break it, smash into it, open it to see what's inside? The order of events, the order of the order in which we can do things in the game, to me, makes little sense sometimes. It is an open world-ish kind of game, right? So we over here, we get told that there's a body of some dude. We don't necessarily go straight towards it. Maybe the game should kind of force you to it, or at least don't give you so many options. I mean, we could search the trash, for instance. Why are we searching the trash? There's no reason to search the trash if there's no reason to search the trash. Are we looking for a weapon? Are we looking for, something the killer might be wearing? Why would we search the trash? There's no reason to search the trash. Unless, we suddenly find out, hey, Ken was supposed to have this on him. It was, whatever, USB stick with some information. Where is it? You get the point. Suddenly we have a reason. Okay, maybe the killer left something behind. Maybe there was some evidence that could lead to a killer's identity. So, with all that being said, I think the game has a really solid idea, but execution-wise, so far, it doesn't really seem so great. And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just not connecting the dots here, but hey. That turned out to be a rather long rant, but let's continue here.
Anything else?
Don't really remember where we actually ended up last time, so let's just sort of run around and see if we can't get some more hypotheses out here. The Outrangers sized up the Medibot that hovered next to me, then glared angrily at me. Another sawbones. Let's examine here. I leaned in to get a closer look at the body. When I reached toward it, an Outranger grabbed my hand. Keep your hands to yourself, civilian. This is a crime scene. Move along and let us do our job. Okay, let's ask for access. Is there a way I could convince you to let me examine this body? You hit your head or something. It's a corpse and I'm an officer on duty. Ever heard of regulations? Want me to face disciplinary action? Okay, we can offer to his empathy. I saw the way you were looking at the body. A terrible sight, isn't it? See, I knew this man. Imagine how I must be feeling. I need to see what's left of him. The Outranger's face turned even more pale. He gulped and looked around nervously. All right. I looked the other way for a moment. The man handed me a pair of super thin nanogloves. Put these on. You don't want your DNA and fingerprints all over the body. All right. A dead body is a terrible sight. It's a memory of someone who once lived. A hideous, untrue, fake memory. The guy's face, as if carved from plastic, was pressed against the wet pavement like a strange, silent object. The gaze of his open eyes was angled unnaturally. Nobody's face should lie on the ground like that. The face of a corpse, maybe. Maybe that's no longer a person. Ken. Okay. Perform surgery? Let's start with the visual inspection, shall we, before we start digging around in him. I lean closer. Okay. Okay, what do we... I think we're gonna... we will be inspecting him first before we do any searching or flipping, of course. So let's start with the head. The sideways facing eyes had lost any expression or gleam. They resembled those of a poorly designed NPC. The face, pulled taut by the sidewalk, looked to be smiling crudely. Okay. Guess. See, this is also another thing. There has been no indication that there is anything in his mouth. So why would we suddenly... I mean, we're not a coroner, but maybe just the wording like check what's in his mouth. Maybe it should say check if there's anything in his mouth. I know that, you know, it's probably common practice if you get a body in, right, as a coroner, you want to check if there's anything, but yeah, whatever. Let's check if there's anything in his mouth. I had an inexplicable hunch, parted his lips and put 2 fingers in his mouth. His stiff tongue, dry saliva, I shuddered. There was nothing else there. Well, there we go. Well, we didn't get to say goodbye, that's okay. Let's inspect the chest. I looked at his chest. Okay, so check under clothes or feel his chest. Let's check under his clothes. It looked like a small gunshot exit wound. Okay. A small gunshot exit wound. Okay. So I'm guessing we might be able to find something if we turn him around. Strange that that didn't trigger anything, a clue or anything. I mean, now we have something else. Let's feel his chest. I pressed on his chest in a few spots, then tapped. Weird, it sounded hollow inside. The sound near the wound should have been flat due to extravasation. What did that give us? Okay, it gave us a clue in the MCC beacon hypothesis. Ken has a gunshot wound on his chest. So we know that the beacons shoot plasma, but it doesn't say anything if that resembles a gunshot wound. Just that there isn't, we know that there isn't a lot of blood, and that corresponds with plasma, because it burns the wound almost instantly. Okay, another one. In here, maybe? Not that I could see. No signs of fall damage. That's probably this. This is probably the clue we just got. I didn't notice any damage caused by the fall on Ken's body. Yeah, okay. I mean, of course it doesn't necessarily rule out an accident, but it rules out that he fell, at least it should. Okay, let's check the limbs. His arms and legs were splayed awkwardly. It was like he had been doing some weird mid-air stunts before hitting the ground. Yeah, probably panicking. Examine his hands. Gently, I lifted his hand. I was stunned. The skin on the inside of his palm was clean, not even a scratch or a bruise. Everything in perfect condition. Also, talks a bit, or talks very much against, or indicates against the fall. I checked his other hand, same thing. His skin should have been torn if he fell and froze in this position. Indeed. Let's roll up a sleeve. It looked like he had been struck by lightning, but the marks were off. I rubbed my eyes and took another look at Ken's arm. Nothing. I was confused. Let's roll up a pant leg. His calf was clean. No bruising. I checked the other leg and it was the same. Ken's pant leg slowly slid back down, covering up the cold, exposed body. Alright. Let's search him. I rummaged through his pockets. He had no personal items on him, not even a walk towel. Strange. He should have had that, right? Let's flip the body around. I grabbed Ken by the shoulders and started to gently turn him over. He was heavy and oddly resistant. One of the holographic wings disappeared into the pavement. His head bobbed and was about to collide with the pavement. I noticed something flashing immediately behind it. Okay, his head bobbed and was about to collide with the pavement. I noticed something flashing immediately behind it. Okay, I mean, the good guy thing here would be to protect the head, but we're gonna be looking at the flash, I think. It lasted a fraction of a second. A semi-transparent sign popped up right above Ken's head from the pavement. Zoo Arrow Darkness. Level 14, HP 0. Okay. The mirage vanished. Okay. Yes, let's look for the exit wound. Modern firearms produce enough kinetic force to easily blast straight through a person. I reached out to touch Ken's chest area. I retracted my hand, freshly smeared with blood, and wiped it off on the guy's coat. He was my friend, so he wouldn't have minded. Alright. Let's inspect his back then, I suppose. There was a bloody hole on in his coat. And his back too, it seemed. Okay, let's look for a bullet. I slid my hand under Ken's chest again. I felt the cracks in the pavement under the exit wound. I pulled out a metal object. I tore it from the pavement and took a closer look. It was a bullet. Let's inspect beneath the body. Not much blood, just a few stains that looked like splatter. Suspiciously little, considering it went straight through him. Ask about the wings. Translucent bat wings protruded from Ken's clothing. I wondered if it was AR or a hologram. I turned off my glasses, but I could still see them. A hologram. To create such an animation, Ken had to have an Ilgan, an illusion generator with him. I couldn't see it anywhere, so I turned to the Outranger. Do you see these wings? Take a guess, sir. That's why I keep fiddling with him. I can't find the Ilgan that generates them. Did you swallow it? Maybe. Okay, let's leave for now. Let's see what we gathered here. Ooh, game hypothesis. We opened up another one. I'm guessing that was because of the flash. Okay, Ken was killed with a weapon from a game. Inside a game. That's crazy. Lightning marks. For a moment, I saw something weird on Ken's arm. Something like a magical wound. Alright. Ken has wings, but there's no Ilgan. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Animated bat wings protrude from Ken's back, but I can't find the Ilgan that's generating this illusion. Then he had a sign above the head. For a fraction of a second, I saw a strange sign above Ken's head. It showed his character level and 0 hit points. Okay. I mean, I believe we know that game effects can transfer to the outside, but I'm not sure this much. I mean, we saw with the orange folk that working too hard, for instance, would cause problems or playing too much would cause problems in the real world, but nothing like, you know, if you got shot in game, you would die outside. Okay, Ken didn't have anything on him. I think we got this and these two. Yeah, unnaturally twisted limbs. I don't know what Ken was doing before he died, but his body looked like an awkwardly twisted NPC model. And he didn't have anything on him. If Ken came to Low City looking for something, then he didn't find it, unless it was information. Okay, so we have 3 out of 4 now. Can we talk to Vernon about something? That would be a negatory. Okay.
I can tell fact from bullshit.
I mean, performing surgery? It seems like we're just checking out the body. Suddenly we're drilling in him. I mean, come on. Let's wait with that for a bit, and we know what's in here now. I guess we are gonna break the lock. I tried to pry it open, like they did in old horror movies. Something clicked. The lights on the box lit up, and the alarm went off. Yeah, as we thought. An unauthorized de-encapsulation attempt has been detected. Warning. Possible environmental contamination. Content contamination procedure initiated. Uh-oh. The box hissed as if it were preparing a cocktail. The indicators lit up and I heard the muffled sound of an explosion coming from the inside. If there was any evidence left, I must have destroyed it. Swell. Alright, well, that was definitely a mistake. Let's talk to the captain
You're
here.
not supposed to be here.
Okay. A well-built man was loitering on the sidewalk and giving the doctor menacing looks. Huh, okay. So family or service. I'm guessing that's two different sides we can sort of appeal to here. Let's, I guess, show concern. I don't know why we would, but why not? Hard day? You know it, pal. I command a bunch of rejects. I've got a film crew here, and then there's also this fucker Pax. He looked at me as if he had suddenly woken up. Wait a second, who let you in here? Let's refer to the regulations. Don't know if that's gonna help us or not. I'm a Gamedec, and I have a right to be here. If you have any doubts, check them against the regulations. The man narrowed his eyes. Who doesn't love losing control of the situation? Wonderful feeling. I have a feeling that he's not exactly a fan of ours. Let's ask about Ken's death. How did Ken die? However terrible it may sound, it seems that an MCC beacon mistook him for some kind of bat and fired at him. Let's not accuse him straight out of the bat. Let's ask about his conflict with Pax. So, last time we sort of decided to help Pax out of the blue, which probably was jumping the gun a bit, because we have no idea if this guy is a bad guy or not. You and this doctor seem to hate each other. The man snorted, clenched his fist, and the metal parts of his glove creaked. Think so? Where did you get this from? I'm gonna mention my sources. Don't ask for details, but I have my sources. I know things, and I don't need to witness an argument to know it happens. Oh, okay. The man nodded. It seemed that keeping my sources anonymous made an impression on him. Ah, interesting. Pax and I have a history, and it's not one with a happy ending. I'd rather he left. Okay. We don't know anything about these two. Let's ask about their history. So, you and Pax, what happened? The man rubbed his eyebrows and sighed. It was a little over a year ago. Our unit was on patrol duty behind the ABB. My husband, Michael, was with us. There weren't many dangerous species in that area. Well, except for insects. They are everywhere. Michael, the man looked down and grunted. He swallowed and straightened up. A gadfly bit his neck. Hypoderma bovis toxica. It got really swollen, so we quickly evacuated. Then an ambulance arrived. And Pax was in it. He was arrogant and confident. The fool said that it wasn't a gadfly, but a Brazilian wandering spider that lost its fucking pedipalp. Let's not interrupt him here. Let's keep listening. Despite our protests, Pax ordered decapitation to save Michael's life. He lost his body because of that moron. Now he's an involuntary Zeawen. Keeping his head alive costs a fortune, and we can't afford to regenerate his whole body. It's too expensive. With one decision unsupported by any evidence, this prick turned our life into a nightmare. The man cleared his throat. So yeah, this is our history, my friend. No happy ending for me, and since we don't see a way out, well, never mind. Okay, let's find out why he should leave. I'm guessing maybe it's just personal, but I'm guessing he also doesn't trust him. Why do you want Dr. Pax to leave? The man frowned and shuffled his armored boots. He brings back some painful memories. I guess let's offer some assistance. Maybe I can help you somehow. He tilted his head and sized me up. You? How would you do that? We have some technical skills, so we can say we can come to an understanding with him. Well, he already knows that we are a game deck. We're not going to suggest violence, even though that would probably get us some more decisive red skills. Let's go with the technical skills. I don't think we can get to or come to an understanding with Pax, to be honest. I used to be a glacier. I'm pretty skilled when it comes to technology. Interesting, but no, you can't help me. He looked to the side and I saw red neon light reflecting in his eyes. By the way, on a completely unrelated note, there's a Medibot hanging around. It pisses me off. I would be over the moon if it finally broke down. Ah, I've no idea why I just said that. Okay. No blood. I don't think we got anything new here, did we? It's also really annoying that it starts with pointing to any of these every time we go in here. It makes very little sense. Okay. Maybe we got a codex thing. That's what I thought I saw over here. Okay. Okay. Let's ask for access to the drone. I need access to your drone. Do you now? And I need access to an anti-gravity shower and some good tea. You know what, Gamedec? I won't get that either. Okay. This might be where this might be a thing we can do because we have unlocked the service thing. I'm gonna guess that maybe this is gonna work because we are high enough up here. So let's say that he should take his duty seriously. I knew a soldier once. Funny guy like yourself, but when he put on his uniform, he did what he had to do. And he didn't make jokes on duty. Duty, huh? Service before self, I guess. You got me by the balls there, friend. Alright, I'll give you the damned access. Excellent. Let's not piss him off quite yet. So we got access to a drone. This one? Noir Heavy Industries made this drone model for military and police use. They are used for scanning dangerous and suspicious areas. They say they are also able to detect mental constellations characteristic of sociopaths and potential murderers. Okay, let's take control, I guess. I decided to play with the machine. Oh, hacking cameras. Use the drone to gather data from each of the cameras, then compile the data to get a complete recording of Ken's fall. Okay. Okay, so what are we looking at here? I know, I see these. So they're probably what we want to go for. So city camera. Okay, we're downloading. Fair enough. Ah, okay, so we... okay. We need to gather all the cameras that are pointing towards where he fell. Okay, fair enough. Can we... No. Okay. Okay. All right.
You're bothering me.
Oh.
Go away.
I didn't want to actually talk to him. That was a mistake, but here we are. He winced and waved me to stop as I approached. Dude, I get that people blah 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 blah. Yeah, he wants us to take a shower. That's probably from the trash, I'm guessing. What was this though? What did we get? This was no action or no accidents. I mean, give me like a murder thing. Can I talk to the captain about this? Okay.
Anything else?
Okay, let's see if we can talk to Pax about it. Otherwise, we might be at a point where we want to do some surgery.
Calm down.
No.
Scan the body.
Okay, so the guy that ran away, could that be this? He was wearing a hoodie, but I'm not. Don't think it's this guy. No.
You're bothering me.
No, and
Go
you don't
away.
care. Okay. Well, I guess we have very little choice. Let's perform some surgery. I guess. I glanced at the battery level. I had to choose wisely, as each of the Medibots required energy. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. Well, he was shot in the head. So I'm guessing we, at the very least, want to do a brain scan. I selected the brain scan option. The Medibot turned on something akin to a floodlight, casting a faint light, and began the procedure. The order cannot be executed. Insufficient energy level. Alright. Okay. Huh. I can't see why we would do any of the others. Can we charge it somehow? We have a battery. Of course we do. Okay, we could damage the Medibot. I'm guessing that's if we want to make friends with the captain. Let's check the latest scans. The dialog box told me the last patient to be scanned by the Medibot was Dr. Samuel Pax. I clicked a button that displayed the report. All it needed was a cursory glance. A chest x-ray revealed a tumor situated in the primary bronchi, along with multiple metastasis. The Latin-written diagnosis didn't leave any hope. Stem cell cancer. It even gave the estimated time he had left. 6 months, 12 days, and 9 hours. Wow. Okay. Well, we are gonna install a battery. I took out the battery I found in the garbage from my pocket, opened the Medibot's battery panel, and tried replacing it. Something was wrong, like it was stuck. Okay. I mean, I feel like either way, unless we get the brain fixer, which... maybe we could if we are lucky. Let's... but toss the battery. Why would we toss the battery? Let's try and force it. I braced and pushed with all my strength against the stuck piece of metal. It gave way, made a grinding noise, let off some sparks, and then something hissed. The Medibot explicitly protested and died. Okay. Well, we are definitely making all the right choices here. Dr. Pax. Well, let's ask if he's dying. Are you dying? Not at the moment. I'll fire up the engines in about 3 months, then I'll fly away. Too bad Gaia isn't the destination. He looked at the Medibot and exhaled smoke, barely stopping himself from coughing. Assuming the diagnosis is correct. He coughed but kept the smoke in his mouth. The cigarette paper started soaking with red. He grabbed the wet, the wet bot and looked at it with disgust. He tossed it into the abyss below us and lit up another. It probably is. So, what's wrong with you? Stem cell cancer. No cure. Believe me, I'm a doctor. Let's say... let's ask if he has any connections. But you're a doctor. You could send your friends, I'm sure they would... He stopped me with a gesture. A BLB is the only thing that could help me. Can't afford it. Too many debts and I'm tired. No more of this. Alright. Well, we got rid of the Medibot, I guess. If we want to silver line it at least, so maybe the captain will be happy about that.
What is it this time?
Yeah. I've destroyed the Medibot. I decided to do a little vandalism. I destroyed the Medibot. Yeah, well, not really, but sure. I know I should be happy, but it's still eating at me. Anyway, thank you. Let's, I guess, tell him that Pax is dying. Did you know that Dr. Pax is terminally ill? So, there is some justice in the world. Let him experience what the death of a body really is. Maybe then he'll understand how valuable life is. There will be no then for him. He can't afford it. He's truly going to die. The man's face froze. He stared at me and blinked as if he were shuffling folders in his brain. Hell, son. Alright, alright. I forgive him his sins. He rubbed his eyes and smiled sadly. I forgive him everything. We're square. Us too, Gamedec. Okay.
I can tell fact from bullshit.
Not much to do there.
Anything else?
Not much to do there. Can we still, can we hack it? No. Okay. Still no reason to. Fair enough.
Calm down. I need to scan the body.
Okay, nothing else. Anything new here? Nope. Okay. Ooh, we can talk to him as well now, but only with the brain fixer profession, which we don't have.
You're bothering me. Go away.
Okay.
What is it this time?
Is there anything else we can do? Other than accuse the captain of... Other than accusing the captain of fiddling with the investigation. What about the tourist terminal? Check out the offer. Wonder what piece of junk... what the piece of junk could offer people from the lowest layer of the polis. Doesn't look like anything. Nope. Alright, well, I guess before we end the episode here, let's ask whether he's sabotaging the investigation. I'm sorry, Captain, but shouldn't the Outrangers try to divert suspicion away from the beacon? What are you implying, son? I guess we are gonna accuse. I think that you're deliberately taking this case in a strange direction. That's a serious accusation. You shouldn't make those without strong proof, and I assume you don't have any, do you? Sure, let's suggest that he's being blackmailed. Someone's blackmailing you. That's the only rational explanation. He gave me a harsh look and opened his mouth to say something, but then he stopped, grunted, and rubbed his eyes, as if deflated. Oh, by all mutations, I'm so tired. Okay, let's ask who's blackmailing him. Who's doing it? Why do they want to blame the Outrangers? Leave it, son. I'm not telling you anything. Maybe if we had gone to towards the family, we could have pushed some buttons, but...
You're bothering me. Go away.
Okay, I mean...
I can tell fact from bullshit.
one last round here? I mean, there's nothing else. Let's talk to... I mean, there's nothing else here, right? There's an advertising drone. Okay, can we... Let's try use a positive set then, I suppose. Confirmed the set of ads and directed the signal straight to Tancred's brain. Okay, let's see what happens. I think we did negative last time. Let's talk with these two. Okay, the guy was skinny, wore massive glasses with a secondary active pair on his neck. Yeah, I remember this. No. We know that he doesn't like small talk. Nope. What about you, though? Anything new? Nope. Okay.
What the fuck did you do this time? On second thought, I don't want to know.
Oh, okay, so that's... Okay, boom, fucking teleportation. Here I am again, so tell me, what the fuck did you do? Oh, actually, shut up, otherwise you just piss me off. Can we talk to him now? Oh. Okay, so that does something. That does something. Okay. Okay, we have something to check. We can try and bombard him twice with negative energy and see what happens when he gets to Behemoth, I guess. See if that does anything. Otherwise, I think we might have royally screwed this up so much that we are not gonna get anything here. Who knows? This is clearly not any of these. I don't feel like it is. It was clear to see that the MCC beacon did not shoot him. He got executed up close. Well, maybe the thing is that it seems like he got shot twice, because he had a chest wound and then the other guy shot him in the head. I don't know how we couldn't see that when we were examining it, but whatever. Clearly wasn't an accident, and he clearly... Well, I guess he could have got shot in the game. I don't know. Once again, super confused about all this. We'll try next time to fiddle a bit with this. Otherwise, I don't see any other options here but to just randomly guess. And it is purely random, I feel. One of these. We don't even have the fourth one here. That I feel we are needing something saying he was murdered. But yeah, we'll see next time if something opens up to us. But for now, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and to see you for the next one. Until then, take care.